Man, let's transition into some Lions discussion, man.
Oh yeah,
Big old win over this past Sunday, man, over the Cleveland Browns,
Yeah.
34-10. Cleveland did play tough defense as we suspected.
Mm-hmm. All right, now, fellas, appreciate you guys.
But the Lions were able to, generate some turnovers, generate some points off special teams, and ultimately get a big victory. I'll take your impressions of the game, man, and then I'll give you mine.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty straightforward. Cleveland, it was tough to move the ball on them at times, as we thought. They do have the number one ranked defense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not a surprise. But the Lions have the number one ranked offense. So,
Right.
when you look up at the scoreboard at the end, we ended up with 34 points. So
crazy, right?
Yeah, no, because the offense is the offense. It finds a way to hum.
Yep.
At a certain point. But I'll take your impressions of the win, the victory. And then, of course, we'll preview a little bit of the Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
What your expectations are for that. But what say you, bro?
Yeah, the Lions. I don't know what to make of this world that we're living in, where like the Detroit Lions are demoralizing football teams like before the game's over. Like, I'm not used to that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was crazy to see.
Starting quarterbacks being pulled for underperforming, not because they up by 4
scores.
Especially
the Cleveland Browns, if you're old enough to remember the Ty Detmer game.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think, again, shout out to Kelvin Shepard. It just seems that he understands the defensive personnel.
Yeah.
And my point with that is the way that he seems to adjust through injury.
Correct. Yep.
And the defense seems to just kind of just stays the course.
Yeah.
That's impressive to me. It was good to see Khalif Raymond get a touchdown.
Yeah. Yep. A punt return for a touchdown.
That was always good to see. I root for Khalif. He's a work hard guy.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I like him.
On the injury front, for some reason, it just, out of all the things that we have going for us, it just seems that our corners have been snake bit for like the last 3 years.
Yeah. You're right. I was gonna bring up DJ Reed. Even though we got some good news that he's not out for the year. It turned out to be a hamstring injury.
Mm-hmm.
When they bring the card out, that's scary, right? That kind of look. You kind of start thinking season ending when you see that card, but. They're saying that it's going to be probably at least 4 weeks. They are flirting with putting him on IR.
Yeah, bro.
But I'll take 4 weeks.
Yeah, but to your point, if they had to cart him off, and if it's a hammy injury to the degree that he had to be carted off, well, he'll be back in 4 weeks. But as soon as he try and dip and turn up the other way, he gonna be back out another 4 weeks.
Well, they said that the cart was an abundance of caution.
Okay.
But and then Tyrion Arnold obviously also went out, but they saying that he's day to day. Just to give a little bit of an injury update.
He's been playing like an injured player anyway.
I mean, he's always nicked up. And then I think Branch too is a little nicked up, and Kirby Joseph is nicked up too. But he came back, but he's they're all considered to be day to day.
Yeah.
So, there's no serious injury other than Reed. But to your point, yes, we have been just snake bit in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It seems like everybody in the defensive backfield has been nicked up. And that's kind of a separate discussion.
Yeah,
There's
for
been
sure.
A lot of injuries, and and some people have suggested that it's the artificial turf.
It was just that when I saw the DJ Reed thing, I was just like, "Hey, here we go again!"
Because he was having a great game too. He got the interception. And
it's like, why can't our corners just make it like 14 weeks? But let's hope the bye week gets here quickly.
And I'm like, listen. If we can have our defense for the postseason, I want us for the postseason run, because you already know how I feel. I'm like, listen, I'm looking at Philly, and I want to touch on them later too.
Because it's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the Eagles,
and it was last year.
We'll get to it.
We stuffed that run
and
turned them into a passing team.
We'll get to it.
And I'm telling you that they can't keep up with us offensively. But go ahead. I don't want to stop.
But my last point before I lob it to
you,
my last point because I mean, like you said, offensively, it just seems to be, water always meets its level.
Yeah.
And, you can just put 27 in the books from us and go north from there every week.
That's what
so to that point with the offense.
Yeah.
J-Mo, is it a bad week or is it something more?
I think it's a bad week. Cleveland is a good defense. They have a very good secondary with Delpit and Ward. Listen, they have excellent defensive backs. And it felt like they were trying to force feed J-Mo the ball. It seemed like they put his name at the top of the scouting report, the internal scouting report for some reason, and felt like they had some sort of matchup advantages for him. And it just didn't work out. Like if you can have a 34-point performance and look at things that didn't work out, it just didn't seem like things were linking up there.
Right.
I would like for them to allow that to be a little bit more organic. I mean, the one, because I think that was Jared Goff's, really that was his first bad throw of the year, was the interception that he threw, trying to force it down the field to J-Mo. He misplaced the football, first of all. Secondly, I didn't think the throw was there. I mean, I guess he could have probably put it out in front of him a little bit more, and maybe
that's where Goff gets in trouble, when he tries to drive the ball sometimes.
But I didn't think the play was they had two defenders down there. I just didn't think it was a advantageous play anyway. And that's not his first interception, but the interception that he threw against Green Bay, I thought was just a great defensive play. If you go back and look at that play, the defensive back he just ran in and undercut the receiver and just made a great play. I didn't think that was necessarily a bad throw. Sometimes, the great players just make great play.
Right,
a player will just make a play. But no, that's a good question. And I noticed that there was something up with them trying to get the ball to J-Mo, and it just didn't look organic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It didn't look like a real
force.
Yeah, it didn't look like a natural part of the offense. But no, so it's a bad week though. I think J-Mo will be fine. Though.
Me too.
I don't think there's anything that will get in his head.
I think when you have a player of his ability, that even when he has a quote unquote bad week, that he consistently shows up and does the little things, without bitching. As a Lions fan, you just take it and shut up. Now if we're having the same conversation in 3 weeks, okay.
Yeah, I think, again, that there'll be opportunities for him. Cleveland's got a good secondary. They bottle up a lot of secondary receivers. That's kind of what they do well. Like sometimes the primary receiver will get off, but what they do well is like bottle up those second and third, options, and they just kind of keep them contained. Even Goff had only had 168 yards passing. And, if you go
trust me, I know.
Yeah. If you go back to the beginning of 2024, he's averaging 269.5 yards per game passing, which is, good for first in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So he's the most prolific passer in terms of passing yards per game going back to the beginning of last year. Yeah. So, holding him to 168 yards per game is a fantastic defensive effort, particularly at home.
Should result in a win if you didn't have a statue back there, quarterback on offense.
That's what I'm saying. Like Cleveland can't, but this is the Browns. They can't get it right. And, and I don't even want to even go into that because we had that conversation enough in the offseason. We've talked about their history and their inability to really be a quality organization. and it's well documented. You know, like we don't need to bore all of our. Everybody has one family with those same stats and facts, but. Yeah, so you know, I think that we did what we were supposed to do, and again, we kind of pointed to that Baltimore game. Like, if we can get that game, the opportunity to run off a number of games is going to present itself. Even though Kansas City, you know, looked better against Baltimore, but you know, Lamar Jackson went out in that game, and we're gonna talk about a couple of key injuries here, and you know, in the next segment, but at any rate. So yeah, I mean, the Lions did what they were supposed to do. Good 34-10 win. They protected the home field. And they beat a team, you know, like, even though Cleveland's got a really great defense, they're a flawed team. They got a bad offense. You know, they don't really move the ball. They can't really move it through the air. They don't really have dynamic pass catchers, not named Jerry Jeudy.
Right.
So, you know, that's.
But I like that the Lions didn't take the bait.
Correct. Yeah.
Coming off a big emotional win against a statement win. And they didn't believe the hype.
And more importantly, Cleveland was coming off a statement win
for sure
over Green Bay.
For sure.
And they were feeling
good. A lot of bulletin board material.
Correct, yeah.
You know,
came and took the wind out of their sails and let them know early that it's going to be a long day.
Because you know, there was a time, you know, that would be a Kool-Aid drunk loss by the Lions.
Correct. I concur.
So that the fact that they won in the fashion that they won, like a all three phase, dominant type of win, I like that. That's what contenders are supposed to do.
And speaking of that, the Cincinnati Bengals and Jake Doodoo Browning.
Oh man.
We should put up 50 on them.
Yeah, like I'm seeing like Kirby Joseph having another career day.
But that's a trap game too. I mean, you know,
it is because Cincinnati's of where we're weak, where our weakness is on the corners.
Yeah, and Cincinnati's going to want to play well. They just got embarrassed on national TV. They look dead in the water. Jake Browning looks terrible.
Man.
I mean, that dude looks terrible.
Doodoo Brown.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know, everybody's like, you know, they should start making calls on Jameis Winston, on Shador. You know, like they should start calling around, trying to figure out what's going on with Kirk Cousins. Like they should be calling on every available, hell, maybe even Russell Wilson.
Bro, it's rough.
The Jake Browning looks
it's rough. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah, that he looks bad. I don't know what's going on there.
It's been a long time where an NFL game with like that many stars went to like bonus coverage in like the third quarter. I was like,
damn. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was.
Horrific. It was like 8 minutes left in the third. They were like, you know what? We don't want to watch this anymore either.
Yeah, we should. So we should stomp Cincinnati. I mean, we should go down to Cincinnati and roll them. But again, you know, you don't want to get trapped. It's still an NFL team. Yep. You know, they still got pride
with high level nukes on the outside.
They do. Yeah, they still have great offensive weapons. They got great offensive weapons everywhere.
And Jake Browning sucks, but I mean, Jamar Chase double move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He can get you open enough where even that bum can get him an open pass.
T. Higgins, you know what I'm saying? Yoshi Vaz. Yeah. Gesicki, Noah Fant. I mean, they have great weapons. I'm like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to generate offense. Yet he cannot.
Yeah, we'll get enough pressure up front. I mean, the one thing Cincinnati is known for, and the reason why they won't be playing in the AFC Championship, as I predicted, is because their offensive line is butt meat.
Man, did you see? There's a still shot. There's a still shot online, man, of Cincinnati's offensive line. It's like four people. So like the three interior linemen and the running back blocking one guy, and the tackles still get beat, and Jake Browning still gets sacked. Like it's like a still shot, man. It's the wildest looking thing. So yeah, no, to your
Hutch,
point, yeah.
Sunday, may be your day. What was that? What do you have? 7
pressures, yeah, and then a couple of sacks. Yes,
because I think against Minnesota, he had 5 sacks. What was that 2 years ago?
Yep. Yeah, it might be one of them kind of days.
I'm looking at over 3.5 sacks come Sunday, bro.
Say you got your best slip filled out already.
I'm going over 3.5 on you, big dog. Cause
so yeah, man. So we keeping our eyes on the Lions situation, man. We obviously after Cincinnati, man, we got Kansas City, but we not looking ahead. We gonna make sure that we handle the business at hand.
Yep.
And we definitely will be previewing the Kansas City game. That's gonna be a big one at Kansas City. At a week from Sunday, but first things first is handling the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's